Oh, all right. Welcome to the impressions video for the week. Second video overall. Um, Fur and Fables. Dive into Fur and Fables, a party-based bullet hell roguelike, which is a much more familiar combination than it should be. Assemble a team of adventurers, level up, and recruit new heroes along the way. Experiment with party composition and synergies to fill your playstyle and save Fabletown from the endless hordes of monsters. Right, so this game was assigned to Petty for the giving of impression. So, Petty, were you impressed?
This is basically Devil Survivor.
I'm not sure how to take that.
I'm not sure how they were amping it up as, bullet hell roguelike, bro. This is, or not Vampire Survivor.
Yeah, Vampire Survivor sounds more accurate. Like Devil Survivor? What?
Yeah, no, I misspoke. That was my bad. But yeah, no, this is Vampire Survivor. Like, only you have a line of players instead of just the one. Which, with the new update that has the new free Saga DLC for Vampire Survivor, this basically plays like that. So it's one of those, if you're already a fan of Vampire Survivor, there isn't a whole lot here for you. Like, I guess the only novel thing is you can press the X button if you're on a Xbox controller to do, like, special attacks, which is basically, for most of them, is faster attack speed. And you can kind of just control your level ups. Though right now the controls for it are rather glitchy. Like, if I'm here at one of the characters at the end, instead of pressing down to select what I want to, like, select them to level up, it goes to the back button instead. But that's just stuff that can be ironed out. And then, yeah, basically it plays like Vampire Survivor. You walk around, you kill enemies. It auto fires. The sword users are the like the daggers, where they just go out in front of you wherever you're walking. Arrows is, I believe, they fire in the direction you're facing. Yeah. Like the dagger. There's, I forget what the fireball does exactly. I think it's closest enemy, and then there's another one that is closest to enemy. And then when the time runs out, you get a boss, and then you kill the boss, and then it auto grabs all of the things on the stage, and then you go to the next area, assuming you win. You can get permanent meta upgrades, again, like Vampire Survivor. There's party synergies where, depending on your party composition, you can get different abilities. Like, you can have like ball and chain follow you around. That's physics based. So, like, if how you walk determines how the flail goes around. Ice shields, which are basically rotating ice crystals. And then the astral lance, which is just like kind of like the lightning power up, where it just shoots random beams from the sky. And those are the only ones I've gotten. Like, I'm pretty sure I could find more. but it was one of those. I will say the difficulty on the first 2 levels, not bad, but the third one is just awful. And if you lose a character, it's permadeath. So if any of my characters die, I lose them forever. But yeah, overall, it's fine. Honestly, if I wasn't just going through, Vampire Survivor couple weeks ago, I probably would be more interested in this.
Understandable.
Music's fine, though it's one of those finds that you'll probably end up either tuning it out or changing to something different. There's no story of much report.
Yeah, apparently right now this game is at a sliver of content. Like, there's only 10 levels.
Yeah.
So
that would explain why this level is hard. Why level 3 is hard as balls.
Yeah. That old chestnut.
Yep.
We don't have a lot of games, so let's make it very tough to beat.
Mm-hmm.
We should call this Karate Kid soon.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I guess, what are we looking at price-wise on this?
That's a good question. I'm like, we really need to invent a genre for this.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't just Vampire Survivor, that's too long.
Yeah. I asked what's the price we're looking at here.
Right. My point is, because it's one of those, and this is pretty early in the early access, it's at a very low price at $4.99, which, once again, that's the that seems to be a pretty typical price for something that's in the mold of Vampire Survivor.
Well, and here's kind of the rub with that. That's about what Vampire Survivor is going at generally on sale.
Right.
So it really begs the question of, do you want an incomplete game that may get better, or a complete game that's still getting extra content?
Well, there's another bit stacked onto this, because per the notes, we're intentionally making the early access version available at a low price. So we will probably increase the price as more content is added and the game is more polished. So that means not only is the price going to go up at 1.0, but it sounds like it's going to be gradually increasing as development goes along. How much is it? How much is really the $64,000 question? Because once again, this, if the end result is $10, ooh, that's pushing it. I'm
especially because rarely you're paying $10 for Vampire Survivor.
Yes.
Because it's almost always on sale now.
Right. And to say nothing of going to
going to what?
$15 or
15.
more. That's going to 15. Yeah. That's just not going to cut it. And that's just the Vampire Survivor market speaking. doesn't matter if you think your game is better or exceeds Vampire Survivor. If it's more than the original dog, you're not going to get any business.
Mm-hmm. Well, even if it did something better, and right now it's just, oh, the player characters are kind of, I don't want to say cute, but not, not, it's a different art style.
Right. I was about to say, not unless you're doing something exceptional or something, very far away, but still doing Vampire Survivor mechanics. Like that. I'm trying to remember the FPS game we featured some time ago.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the name right now, and I hate that. But yeah, that could have when that's completed, that could probably go for 15 or something. But that's because that's a 3D first-person shooter using Vampire Survivor mechanics.
Right.
Anyway.
Oh, and if you're looking at screen, I actually lost one of the characters, so that character is now permanently gone.
Can you replace the characters?
Sometimes you can get chests that pop up with more characters in them, but like, if I want another, like specifically that mage that I lost, I cannot guarantee I will get another one. So like if I had a special synergy that required certain characters and I lost one, I just lose that synergy.
Oh, for the record, the Vampire Survivors game all DLC and OST bundle, I think is about $15.
Yeah, no. That's hilarious.
Yeah, hang on. I have the main Vampire Survivors game, so it's not registering that. Let me look. 1673. There we go.
Yeah. That's definitely one of those. I see what you want to do, but at the same time, you're not gonna get there. And I lost this one because the boss monsters are strong enough to kill me in one hit.
As you said, difficulty balance needs tweaking.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
and there is some bugginess using a controller just overall. It's not broken, but it definitely needs some tightening up.
It's the curse of covering early access stuff.
Right.
/ the upside, because it's more likely that's the polish that they're talking about in the notes.
Yeah, this is definitely a polish issue that you can easily tighten this up and no one will know. But the whole, it's an inferior copy of Vampire Survivor at the end of the day is definitely a mark, especially when you can get the original article and all of its DLC for not much more. And Vampire Survivor's even free DLC is basically experimenting with what this wants to do, minus the permadeath, for free if you already have Vampire Survivor. So it's definitely going to be a hard battle for them. If they find something that really helps differentiate it, that will help a lot. but in the state it is right now, it's gonna have a hard time unless somebody just falls in love with the art style. That would be the only thing I could see somebody really gravitating towards this over Vampire Survivor.
Right.
And I think that's it for me, unless you have any other questions.
No, I think I'm good.
All right, then.
All right then. Yeah. So that'll about do it for Fur and Fables here. Be sure to tune in after the break as we review Stealth Bastard Deluxe.